Answer to both.
Stevenson.
I will also answer to red because so many people call me that. How about Blue Chew, dude? All right. All right. Yo, what's up, silly guy? What's up, sushi? Blue Chew is crazy.
Okay,
Quint.
what is the invitational, bro?
uh, br-
You're supposed to say.
I haven't been briefed on the invitational, but it's
Bro, you
coaching.
coach in the invitational.
Yeah, but
Hello,
I haven't been briefed on it. It's new to
bro.
me. It's coaching for
Wow.
players who are below ascendant that are trying to push their way to immortal. There you go. How was that?
Sure. Sure. Here, how about I just send the website, guys? Let's be
Oh,
great.
that's even, you know what? That's better. Okay, ascendants and below. My bad, Jinx. My bad. Madam Jinx. That's my fault. My fault. You read it off the Discord? Nah, I swear. I've got nothing on my screen. I swear. Guys, look at jointopfrag.com/invitational. There you go.
Yep. I made the website so you can
Hey,
roast me if
actually,
it's bad.
props to you, bro. It looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. I just
Thank you.
looked at it
I
for the
didn't
first
design it,
time in a while. Okay, well, never mind. It looks bad then.
but
I'm just kidding. I actually no. It actually looks really good. I was very impressed. Although I'm not listed as a coach
thank you.
yet, so we're gonna have to get me in there. But
Okay. Are we good to go? Is everyone ready? Or
yeah,
does anyone want to wait a little bit longer?
yeah, we can wait a couple more, maybe like 3 more minutes or 2 more minutes to 9:10. I can go over a little bit since it's my
Sure.
first one if you want. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's whatever. Whatever you want, bro.
Ooh, ooh. Okay, I need to
Hey,
pull.
Rose has a question.
Yo, 6-7. What's up, Rose? What's the question? How can I oh,
What's up,
E-Rose.
Crucial?
Wait, it's E-Rose. Wait, is Crucial in here?
Yep.
Where's Crucial? Oh, he just joined. My guy. My guy. How can I join a tier 3 team? All right. Tier 3 team? Ooh. That's a great question. What is the best way to join a tier 3 team these days? Actually, I actually don't know the answer to that. Like, I genuinely don't know where people look
Good
anymore.
looks.
No, I'm being serious. I haven't looked for a tier 3 team in so long because I've been in collegiate stuff. Like, is Hangouts still a thing, guys? You guys know Hangouts? Is that a thing? Oh, post on Twitter. Um, post on Twitter, LFT, and then put your credentials below, like your peak rank, your current rank, um, your roles that you play, and then what region you're in. Um, yeah, I think Twitter's the play. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, we have an LFT in here as well, which would be good to post in. LinkedIn? Yeah, you could post on LinkedIn. I'm not sure you're gonna find a team there, but you could.
LinkedIn.
uh, okay.
Wow.
All right.
Post your resume on Indeed.
Sheesh. I mean, I would say before you start playing, I would try to shoot for immortal before. DPI 1600 is probably the best DPI out there. Not gonna lie, according to most pros in CS and Valorant. All right, are we good, team? Are we good?
Are
Are we ready? Are you guys ready to learn about the ways of
some R's in
retaking?
the chat.
We get some thumbs up or some R's. Can I write platinum 1 in my resume? I'm bronze. Will I get selected? Try. Try that. I don't know. All right, I'm getting a lot of R's. We're gonna go into the subject at hand. All right. I'm sure most of you know what retaking in Valorant is, but in case you don't, retaking in Valorant is when you are on defense and the enemy team has attacked the bomb site and planted, and instead of defending the bomb site, you guys are going to back off and play for what we call retake, which is where
Pause.
you
Sorry. You're not sharing your screen.
go. Oh, first time, guys.
Good
Relax.
looks.
Relax on me. First time. First time. First
Good
time.
looks.
First time. First time. All right, everyone, hop in here. Everyone, hop in here. Hop in. Hop in.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, so we're gonna look at Haven specifically because I think Haven is a very unique map that a lot of people know very well, but it's also like a very it's a very good map to learn the fundamentals and to practice the fundamentals on. Um, so obviously Haven, 3 bomb sites, right? Uh, does anybody in chat know which bomb site of the 3 is the hardest to retake? There is an answer, a correct answer. A, B, 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 A, hardest retake A, so curse, C, A. Okay, if you answered A, give yourself a little pat on the back. Give yourself a little pat. A is definitely by far the hardest bomb site to retake. All right. We're going to go through a little bit of why A is one of the sites you want to play more aggressive on and why C and B are a little bit easier at retaking. But first, we're going to start out with what a retake entails and the best way to go about it. So let me get just like a basic comp here. Should I do this focus more on like team play or focus more on like
Probably ranked.
okay, ranked. Well, that's okay. So we're gonna get rid of Omen. We're gonna put Clove, and then I mean typical.
Reyna, Jet, Clove, Sova, Chamber.
We'll put these in for now. A retake is easy if you go via A main. It's a subject, yeah, but here let me make my agents a little bit bigger so you guys can see that better. Okay, so we're gonna talk about why retaking is important and when you should know whether you should be retaking or playing for sight. So in Valorant, typically you have a strong side and a weak side. And so, for example, on Haven, a lot of times defenders will have strong side, which is usually going to be your A side, where you have 3 players playing. And then you'll have your weak side, where you have 2 players playing. So, for example, on this map, a lot of people will put a Cypher Cam here, Tripwire here. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. And then a Tripwire like front B. And then they'll have the cam will be able to spot both these lines, so it'll see here and here, so it can see garage for you. And then their heavier utility set will be placed towards A, where they're probably going to use either a dart here or a dart here to gain info, and then fight for the space long. Maybe have Jet go short, peek short. So basically, right, your strong side, you're fighting to the death. You are not giving up this space no matter what. No matter how many people try to take this from you and this from you, you are fighting to the death on it. But this, on the other hand, this is your weak side, and you are willing to give this up and play for the retake. So why C and B are easier to retake is because when you're retaking, you typically want to retake through either 2. You can either retake through 2 or 3 different avenues, right? So what do I mean by avenues? Can anybody have any ideas of what I mean by avenues? Say we're retaking C. Like what would be the avenues of C retake? Routes? Yeah, that's another way to say it. Choke points, garage, CT, flank. Okay. Yep. Mid long CT. Somewhere. Yeah, somewhere is good. Okay, so yeah, so you guys are pretty on the mark with that. So, for example, most of the time your avenues are going to be here and here for retaking C. Occasionally, you might have somebody going here and taking the flank route, which is not a bad idea. But for the most part, you know, you're going to have this is going to be your main setup point is garage and CT, right? So B is the same way, right? We have our 2 avenues. We have A link, we have C link, and then also typically you'll want to send 1 or 2 out of garage. But why do you think A is so hard to retake? What makes A so much harder to retake? Do you think? One narrow choke. Okay. Heaven and Link choke, corners and narrow. One entry. Yep. Okay, so so yes, this retake area is very hard to get out of, and the other retake area is literally a 15-foot drop out of heaven, which makes this bomb site 10x harder to retake than these two. Because you do not want to be coming through this small area and jumping out of heaven unless you absolutely have to. So, let's say we are deciding before the round starts, your IGL or whoever calls, we're going to retake C. So we're playing heavy towards A. We're not giving them A. We're retaking C. Say your Sova uses Dart. Your uses maybe one flash. Okay, so we've lost a little bit of utility. We're coming over here to retake. They have C. So if we're here and we know they're not front B because we have this trip here guarding this, what is our first step here? The garage. Yes. So what you want to do is either you want to get a double swing into garage window, or you're going to want Sova to drone clear garage. So hold out util and swing. Do not do that. So we're going to go for, I would say usually you want to go for a 3-person garage and then a 2-person CT. So we're going to go for a drone clear garage. We're going to make sure garage is cleared. If possible, try to check right outside garage, because obviously a lot of people like to play late flank right here or even right here. So obviously you want to try to check outside of garage if you can. And then what you're going to do is Sova is going to stay back for a half beat, because again, there is usually going to be one person that is late flanking here. So Sova's going to stay back for a half second and just watch this. And then we're going to get either, it depends on where your Jet and Yoru are. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but you can get a flash out with either a smoke long, or you can wait to smoke the bomb. But this is like the best way to do it is probably to smoke long off the rip, and then a Jet dash out if you still have, and then swing. So break trip for pressure. Wait. Smoking logs is a free round boss, by the way. Getting one tapped an option. 12 smoke logs to create space. I personally don't like this smoke. The reason being is you're just giving the enemies too much space to work with if you're smoking this. I see the idea behind it, but the idea is that if we're flashing out here and we're taking back site control, more than likely what's going to happen is when they flash, these two, their first angle they're going to be clearing is going to be right here. And then as they walk out to site, their next angle is going to be back here. While these two, their first angle, if we're still not sure about close left being cleared, then obviously they're going to look there. But otherwise, they're going to be looking here at default. That's going to be their first angle to clear. And then again, Sova's going to be playing late because you're going to have probably one person rewrapping garage late. So that's kind of like the way that you want to retake C and like where everybody should be looking. So if you're retaking from CT, again, your first point is you're going to be looking at logs. And then once you get back sight, you're going to be looking back sight. And then once you get here, then your focus is long, right? So we clear the site first, and then we focus on the exterior after. Could you zoom in on C? Oh, sure. Great idea. Okay. So again, just to refrain what we're saying here, okay? We're just looking at areas in which that you want to clear first, right? So for CT guys, it's 1, 2, 3, right? And then for guys that are like coming out of garage, it's 1, 2, 3. And then Sova just has to hold this. Slash, if they break the trip and come this way, then obviously that becomes his responsibility as well. You can interrupt my flow, Quentin. It's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to worry about interrupting me. It's all good. What about only 2 defenders? What do you mean? If you only have 2 people left on your team? What about how to retake B? We'll go over B next. 2v5 save? Yeah, I would say if you're in a 2v5 situation, it's probably just best to call a save. Save your guns, go next round. Because if they have bomb down and you only have 2 people left, it's going to be really hard to retake. All right, so now let's go to B, because B is an interesting one, because there's actually several different ways that you can retake B, and it's very fascinating, because really the main thing that you need to focus on when you're retaking is just communicating with your team. So for B, let's say the enemies have the bomb down right here, right? Obviously, when the bomb is planted right here, the majority of them are going to be playing out here, right? Probably one here. There's probably going to be one back site, maybe potentially one close left, and then the last 2 are going to be out here. So for retaking B, there's multiple ways that we can go about this. And this is where there's a term in Valorant called pushing and pulling. And this is where this term comes into play a little bit, because you want to push the enemies to focus their attention on one side, and while you're doing that, you want your teammates to pull back the other way to like re-gravitate their attention back towards you, right? So for example, let's say we're doing this. They have one window, they have it set up like this, right? So what you're going to do is your Yoru's going to flash out here, you're going to double swing. Say even if this guy gets 1 for 1, right? These people are both gone. Now, this causes the Yoru to have to focus his attention back this way, right? Because he knows there's one guy flank garage and he has to look this way. He has no other choice. He can't just ignore it, because then he just gets swung and gets killed, right? So he has to be looking this way. While this happens, and potentially depending on how many you send out garage, like if you sent another one out garage, that could also make the Clove turn back and come here as well to help fight with the Yoru. And then you take 2 people away. So while this is happening, the enemy's attention is now focused behind on this area right here. And this means that we activate the other 2 players to fight the guy that's on site by himself now, right? Because the attention is all down here in this space. And now we activate the rest of site and we retake that. So that's a little bit of like what pushing and pulling is. So these players want to really play, like they want to make their presence known, but they don't need to necessarily go for anything. You're not trying to take this position right away. Like you don't need to run into the site and die. You know what I mean? This is more of a, you're waiting till your teammates activate the mid pressure. And then as soon as your teammates activate the mid pressure, then you have to start pressuring here. So that way they're being pinched from both sides. Because now guess what? If you come in here and kill this Jet, these 2 right here, if they're playing together, they have nowhere to go. The entirety of the map is all locked up into this small space. They're being crunched from both sides and they literally have nowhere to go. That's the only place that they can go, is in this little area. And you'll know because you have the site cleared and you already have got the window, you have window cleared, you've cleared bottom mid. So you'll know that the only place they can be is this front B section right here. But again, with B, there's so many different ways you can go about it. So you don't have to just go, oops, sorry. You don't have to just go from garage. You can do this as well. This is strong too. So this would be another example of the push and pull, right? So the enemies have taken the B site. Let's say they have it set up like this, okay? So your push, your 2 teammates on C, their job is you see 3 people flanking, right? So should the 2 split and wrap around or stick together and go around? I would say if you're retaking, it is better to stay in groups. I would say unless you were the last person to activate somewhere, I would say it's best. So like if it was like this, and these 2 are going flank and these 2 are fighting here, this person would be the absolute last person to activate something, because you don't want to be in a situation where, like, if you peek too early, like, say there's 2 people on site, if you peek too early and they've seen your 2 teammates over here and they know these 2 are flank, they know that you are a single person over here. So naturally, they're going to take this and just take you out. So you want to make sure that if you are a single person, you play super passive and just hold the space, which is what I'm getting ready to talk about right here. So another example of pushing and pulling would be if we have Clove and Cypher towards C. Say one is garage, because we still probably have our Cypher like trip C long, or you might have a trip garage or whatever. But the best thing to do if you see your teammates flanking, can I go on stage? Do I let people on stage?
It's up to you.
I'll,
But you can, like, if you wanna answer questions and stuff.
yeah, sure. If you have a question, I'll invite you on stage. How do I kick them off in case they're just like an absolute?
You right click them and then move to audience.
Okay. All right, go for it. Oh, do you just want to be up here? Oh, okay. Anyways, so if your 3 teammates, say they get the bomb down B, you guys know they're going B, your 3 teammates are saying, hey, we're flanking. Clove and Cypher are going to play back towards C link. You can either do a crossfire like this, so that as soon as they come into, like, you would want your Cypher peeking first right here, so that if they're seen in this area, your Clove can swing, and then you have a crossfire. But you guys are essentially now the weak side, right? So you are playing back and just gathering information. You guys are the pole while your team is pushing. So your team pushes through here. This creates a lot of pressure back towards mid. While this happens, the enemies are going to do one of 2 things. They're either going to A, turn around and try to fight your team, which if this happens, then that's okay. Usually you're favorable. I'll invite you to speak. Usually you're favorable in this situation anyways, unless you guys are just not hitting your shots, and that's okay because that happens. Or B, they're going to try to take space because they know, like, hey, there's 3 flanking. We should probably try to explore one of the links. And this is where crossfires become super important and communication with your teammates becomes super important, because say 2 of them walk around this corner. A, for example, if Cypher's sitting on like a nice angle that they're not really expecting, like a crazy off angle, this could be a 2 free kills right here. And B, if they do swing and look at the Cypher and they start shooting at the Cypher, then your Clove just insta peeks here, and now there's the crossfire right there. So does that make sense? Like the pushing and pulling, do you guys understand like where that comes from and like in the scenarios in which you need to do that? Your team, okay, so I will say in ranked, it is very hard to get your teammates to do this. I will say that. I do know that ranked can be a bit hard, and there is coincidentally a call that I'm doing later this week about how to create a great ranked environment. So I won't go too much into detail about that. But to be honest with you, in ranked, you really just have to communicate the best you can. You can try to tell people like, hey, we're going to triple flank. Can you guys play passive like seaside or whatever? Some people will listen to you. Some people won't. That's just part of the community. That's just part of ranked. You know what I mean? That's just like, it's just kind of how Valorant is, you know? Not everybody's going to want to listen to what you have to say, and that's okay. And it's just you know, you just have to learn how to deal with it, because unfortunately that's just it's just part of the game. Ranked teammates are just not always the greatest, you know? But you have to try your best to make it a good environment to play in. Like if you're constantly talking down on your teammates, then they're less likely to listen to you, versus if you are being high energy, being kind, you know, giving them praise when they do well, picking them up when they miss their shots, like, you know, nice try, it's all good, don't worry about it, we'll get the next one, good try, good round, good shots, Yoru, like, good clutch, like stuff like that. People are more likely to want to, you know, listen and, you know, play as a team if they're being treated, you know, in a good way. What if I'm the one getting shit talked? I did think about this earlier because I figured this question was going to be asked at some point. If you are the one getting shit talked in ranked, and it you have two options. Well, you have three options. One is you shit talk back. That is not a recommendation. But I know some people, I have a couple teammates who just can't hold themselves. Quentin, if you know, you know. Um, Two,
Yep.
just ignore it completely. Don't look at anything, like don't listen to anything they're saying. Just let it slide off your back. You know, don't let it bother you. Or three, if they're really bothering you and affecting you, just mute them. Because there is no reason, if someone is just bullying you in comms chat, there's no reason to just sit there and listen to it. You know what I mean? If it's really getting on you, just mute them. Because at the end of the day, it's not worth your mental health and your brain power to listen to somebody talk down on you. If you have two teammates that turn off comms and another playing being toxic, okay, there's a lot of people that have explained Valorant ranked in a lot of different ways. And, you know, a lot of people like to say it's a coin flip. And while that's true, I would say like 40% of matches or 80% of matches, the outcome is already predicted before the lobby starts. You're either going to win or lose. And there is nothing you can do to shift that. But I would say 20% of the ranked matches you play in, you have the chance to turn your team around and pull out the win because of the attitude and the vibes that you bring. That I 100% agree with. 20, 60, 20. How do you spread good energy when even if you're up, they're just negative about everything? If your teammates are being negative about everything, you just, again, a lot of times when people are being negative, it's a way to seek attention, whether they consciously think it or not. It's just their way of wanting to get attention, and a lot of people seek attention and get it negatively because that's the only way that they can get it, or that's the only way they've learned how to get attention is by being like negative or being bad or doing something wrong. So just don't pay attention to the negative energy and just bring your own positive vibes to the game, and I promise you it'll have a major outcome. I know I don't know how many of you guys know. There's a content creator. His name is Josh Seki. He streams every day for quite a while on Valorant. He is a good example of like a positive player. I would say like he goes into games, he immediately makes conversation with his teammates. He immediately asks them how their days are going. He's a guy that is just like a good overall teammate. He comes into the game and he just immediately makes everybody feel better about how they're doing. And that's the kind of person that you want to be. How do you deal with someone who has an unfounded ego, like someone peaked higher than you but hasn't? Ego is one of those things where, again, it's just you just have to use the ignore system. Like there's people are always going to have an ego. People are always going to say they're better than you. People are always going to be like, you know, I've peaked this and you haven't. But at the end of the day, you guys are all in the same lobby, right? So relatively speaking, Valorant thinks that you guys have similar skill levels, right? Because that's how the MMR works. It puts you in people. It puts you in lobbies with people who have similar MMR or rank than you. You know what I mean? So no matter what they say, no matter what they peaked, you could have someone that peaks Radiant, but if they're sitting in Diamond right now, then what good does their Radiant peak do for them? Other than to just say they peaked Radiant. You know what I mean? Like they're in the same lobby as you at the end of the day. So you just have to believe that you are as good or better than them. Nothing that they say can bring you down because they are in the same lobby as you, and you know if you're in the same lobby as someone else, it means your skill levels are well enough matched in the game to be in the same game. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how you have to deal with the negativity of Valorant is just, you are all in the same game for a reason. Just remember that. All right, let's go to a retake now because a retake is miserable, and let's talk about the best way to do it if you ever find yourself in this situation. I hope for your sanity you never find yourself in this situation, but it will inevitably happen at some point. So for a retakes, I want to say I would say the best thing to do I myself, I'm a controller player for my team. And personally, I like this smoke or this smoke the best because when this heaven smoke drops, you want your this person's hell, by the way, and they're a little bit big. But when this smoke drops heaven, you want your person that is heaven to be able to look. Oh my gosh, Quentin, you've got me all. You want your person that's heaven to be able to either look long or to look like in this general area because a lot of times people will be playing like either here or you can see them over this short smoke if they're sitting in this corner or if they're peeking from default or again if they're long. You want your person that's heaven to be able to see that. So I personally prefer this short smoke or this mid-sight smoke. um is your name how do you say your name? Caress? Is that how you say it? I will answer that question in a minute. I'm gonna bookmark that one and I'll answer it in a minute. So let's say you do use this smoke right here. I'm gonna just point out again common spots that people like to play when they're playing on A, so that you guys know exactly what to clear. So obviously this is a spot that people like to play. It's pretty ratty, but it's semi-common to have somebody in that corner, especially if CT is smoked off and you guys are coming out of a smoke. So make sure you always check this corner. This is a very popular spot. Hell is obviously very popular. Default is very popular. A short is very popular, either side, but typically this box is where you'll see like a lot of people play. Long, either side, very important. Sometimes you'll have somebody sitting out here. If somebody's sitting out here, they're kind of dumb, but they might catch you off guard because they're just being dumb. And then this is also a very powerful spot that we play on my team. We call this Justin because one of our coaches named Justin told us that this was a good spot to play. And honestly, you'd be surprised at how many people that peek heaven do not expect you to be in this corner. It just works out really well. So retaking, you want to look for these yellow spots, right? So the best thing to do is you can either smoke off here, clear close, flash out. You flash like front sight. You have like 2 or 3 people go front sight together, and then you have one person death ball into the smoke. As this person's death balling into the smoke and they're about to come out, you activate your Astra or whoever's heaven. Typically, it probably wouldn't be your Astra. It would probably be one of your duelists. Yours is probably the best because he can flash out of heaven, but in this scenario, we're using Astra. But as this person's getting ready to come out of the smoke, you want to double this together. So like jump down here and then double swing this together would probably be the best idea while your team is clearing right side. So again, it's about creating angles that are favorable for you, right? So that's what the smoke is doing, is it's splitting the site essentially from right here in half. Because a lot of times the person that's playing hell will come and peek. Hold on, there's a lot going on right here. Will come and peek right here with their teammate who is sitting in this corner, peeking right here, and they'll have a nice little crossfire. So this smoke prevents that from being an issue. And typically, if you smoke this off, the person hell will just stay tucked hell because they can't really help their teammate right here anyway. So this guy's kind of just on an island, right? So you have 2 people flash out. You have a flash right here. You have 2 people go out. One person maybe stay back and hold like the deep line right here for if anybody peeks short, because again, people are going to be peeking off of each other. So you have to be aware of like what angles people are going to be playing. So I would usually have the person that's going to go in the smoke sit back for a second, hold these lines while they clear close right, get this guy gone, right? And then once they clear this guy out, they're going to swing wider and you go into the smoke here. And that's when you activate the double swing here. Because they'll be swinging default right here while you guys are swinging hell right here together. And then the only place that's really open after that is just long. And then like if someone's playing deep short. But at this point, you've gotten the site, right? And that's what your main goal is. So that's like, in my opinion, the best way to retake. All right, let me go back to this question. What if none of your teammates have comms and don't know what to do in retake situations? If your teammates don't have comms and don't know what to do in retake situations, then your best bet is to just try to flood on site with them. Truthfully, like if they if they don't know what to do in retake situations, then your best goal is to either A, try to command them through it. Like if you're retaking C, be like, yo, Sova, drone garage for Clove and Jet to run with it. And then your flash out of CT for Cypher once we get garage control. Like you either A, have to take charge of it, or B, you have to just flood with it. So if your teammates are just playing on site, like say they're rushing C and your Clove and your Jet are over here, whatever, or your Clove and your Cypher are just over here staying on site, and you're Yoru, right? Then you got to get yourself out as fast as possible. Throw a flash on the ground right here, pop out of this, and just instantly look here, try to kill the guy there. Or if they're coming back site towards your Cypher, then look back here. But like if your teammates are not playing retake, you just have to adapt to your teammates. You know what I mean? That's just kind of how the game in ranked works. Because again, random people are unpredictable and you never know how they're going to play. And also people just tend to be a little bit miserable when they play this game. So again, they don't want to listen. And that's fine. Everybody has their own preference of what they like to do. Some people don't like to play retakes. Some people get on the game to just vibe and have fun. And if that's how they choose to go about it, it sucks for the team, but you just kind of have to adapt to it. You know what I mean? What about the smoke that is just outside of sewers on site, like touching all 3 box points? Okay, so this smoke that you're talking about right here, this is a great smoke. Your name is Coil? How do you say that? Is that right? Is it Coil? This is a great smoke for if your teammates are staying on site. So what this smoke does, say your teammates are back site, right? And your Sova's here. This is a great smoke for you to use to rotate, because what this does is it gets the fights to be broken up, right? So you create this big gap right here in the middle of site, cutting off sight lines from here and cutting off sight lines from here, so that this is no longer able to be seen, right? If you have a guy short, his only option, or their only option, is to run through the smoke and either blindly come out of it here or blindly come out of it here, right? And then if you have players coming long, their only option is to scale towards backside or to go into the smoke blind, which, someone could be in there with like a shotgun or a shorty or anything, really. But yeah, so this smoke is really good for like if your teammates say you're playing Clove in this situation, you're playing B, because obviously Clove smokes don't reach globally, so you kind of have to play towards the center of the map. A lot of times, if your teammates get information that they're going A instantly, like say we get a dart here and it hits 4 people and they're all screaming like they're running up long, and then they start backing up, you're gonna want to insta smoke long and smoke this at the same time. And this will just cause so much chaos on the A site and allow you to get out to help your team, right? Because then you can have a Yoru, like as soon as they flash out or dash out or something, your Yoru can flash behind. You guys can double peek this. And then while you're coming out, you and your Sova or you and whoever else can hold this side of the smoke, so that if anyone runs out of there, you guys are ready to kill them. You know what I mean? If they're in the smoke and I'm holding it, they will flash and just kill me. The thing is, you have to look at it from an attacker's point of view, right? So this is another thing that I like to talk about quite often. Is when you are defending, think of it as if you are an attacker. If you see this smoke right in front of you, a lot of times you're not just going to run into it, right? Because you're scared that someone is in the smoke, right? So you're not going to want to run into it. Let me get an enemy in here so it isn't as confusing. You don't want to just run into the smoke without using utility. So a lot of times you'll hear them use a flash to go in it. And then at that point, like, hey, they're in the smoke. They're probably about to flash out. So you can have one person playing anti-flash, like here or here, and then one person just playing for the wide swing. And if they just swing out, then this person just easily swings with you. And then, boom, you get your kills. Let me make these... Dang it, Quentin. All right. So, like...
What did I do, bro?
You made me zoom in, and I had already made them bigger, and... All right, so basically, if you're playing here, right, and you're looking at this smoke, your Clove plays back here or right here, depending on where their CT smoke is, or they could play in the CT smoke. If they have a smoke right here, your Clove can play in it. And as soon as they flash or as soon as they come out, right, your Clove instantly swings. Both of these people are looking at you, and it's just 2 free kills for your Clove if you don't get any. You know what I mean? So, yes, I agree. You have to be careful of the flash out because that is a very common thing to do, is to flash out of smokes like that. But just know that your teammates should be playing either off the flash or off your contacts. So as soon as they swing, they're ready to trade you. What if my whole team dies and I'm in a 1v5 retake on A? Save. Save or send a prayer up. Hope and pray. Don't die to spike. Well, okay, dying to spike if you're on an eco, if you have a rifle, I would just save. That would be my advice. That would be my advice. What about the smoke next to the box blocking the left if you're coming from mid? Smoke next to the box. On the left. Near hell? This one? Yeah, this one is good. This is a good smoke too. I talked about this one already. Maybe you weren't here when I was talking about it. This is a very good smoke to do. This is the smoke that I prefer to do. Either this or short is what I prefer to do if you're retaking. If I wouldn't do this one if your teammates are on site, because again, you're missing the cutoff lines. So again, like if your teammates are fighting for site, like they're staying on site, you don't want this whole area to be open to the attackers. You want to make them uncomfortable, right? So this area, this red area should be uncomfortable for the attackers to get in. So if you throw this smoke, it makes it uncomfortable, right? What if you do short and that one? Again, if you're retaking, like if you're off site and they've already planted the spike, then yeah, this is great. This is optimal. This is like an optimal position to be in. But most of the time, if you're retaking, you only have one smoke. I mean, very few times will you have 2 smokes available when you're retaking, unless you just didn't smoke anything when they were entering the site, which is possible if you're just playing full retake. So do you risk / gamba? No one's holding the heaven jump out. See, heaven is one of those things where usually you want to be the last person to drop out, right? So if you are the heaven player, and usually if you're the heaven player, it's going to be like your sentinel or it's going to be one of your duelists. Preferably not your duelist that has like, I mean, I guess it could be a jet. Oh, I'm doing enemies, sorry. It could be a jet if you're going to dash out of heaven. Like if you still have your dash and you're going to dash like default or something with a smoke on the ground and you're going to go into it, like that could be plausible. Or if you're smoking dashing here, or if you're smoking the ground and just falling into it, like that's possible. But usually your heaven person is going to be the last one to get off. Like you don't want to be, heaven is just like an overlook. You're basically just like, you're the binoculars of the team right now. If you're in heaven and your team is retaking, your goal is to just be holding for these angles. Gibby, not right now, buddy. You're going to be looking for these angles here and and these angles here. That's like your main goal if you're the heaven player. And then lastly, like if you've been holding this for a while and no one peeks and you have a teammate that's going to swing hell, like you can jump down and swing with them and then like double peek this. But for the most part, your heaven player is like the absolute last person to jump out. Does your cat play Valorant? Yeah, he's pretty good. He's Radiant. Top 50 NA right now. I always see people smoke off bomb for defuse, but when is that an optimal smoke? And when is it not or smoke? And when is it not or is... Okay, I see what you're saying. Smoking off bomb, right. So smoking off bomb is really good if you are in low numbers situations. So say it's like a 2v2 and you have a smoke left and you guys have walked and cleared the site together and say that enemies have 2 players left as well. You guys have double walked out. You guys have cleared hell. You guys have cleared, front short. They're not on site. Smoking the bomb at this point is the best play because then you just go in it. You tap the bomb. You don't have to stick it. You tap the bomb. Usually they'll have one person that starts spraying. Maybe even both of them will start spraying. While you're doing this, either you sit and wait to swing out as your Cypher peaks and you just double peek, or you wait for them to walk up. So like you can tap the bomb and your Cypher can be holding like okay. Your Cypher can be holding like this line right here, waiting for them to just walk up, and then as soon as they walk up, insta death. But I would say like low number situations where kind of where the enemies are is the best time to smoke the bomb. Because obviously, if you have 5 people alive, like if the enemies have 5 people alive and you smoke the bomb, you're not going to live. Like you tap that bomb and 5 people are spraying into the smoke, the chances of you living are so slim. So I would say like low number situations, 2v2s, 2v1s, 1v2s, stuff like that. It's really good to smoke the bomb, tap it, and then play around your smoke, whether it's like, you're playing around the backside for somebody to walk up and you catch them walking up, you kill them, or you play like you tap it, you play on the edge of it, wait for them to walk in, kill them. Or you could just go for the Giga Chad stick if you're, really feeling it. Sometimes that works too. Actually, something I know that's pretty good to do, and I just learned about this recently. This is like a pretty recent strat that I've been seeing people do, is to stick half and then instantly get back on it. So stick half, get off, and then instantly get back on it. Because what that'll tell your opponents is that you got half and then you retapped it, and they're gonna think like, oh, they retapped it, and they know that I know it's half. So now they're expecting me to take a fight, when in reality, you're just sitting here sticking the bomb. That's like one way that you can outplay your opponents. Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course. Are there any other overarching questions about retaking? It can be about other things too, but just anything about retaking that that anybody needs me to go over really quickly, because I know we're reaching the end. 8, you want to join? How do you
Hello.
kick? Oh shit. That scared me. Sorry. No,
Oh,
you're
wow.
fine. No, you're good. You're good. That scared the shit out of me. Holy okay.
I was gonna ask, are you only doing this map, or am I able to ask about other maps and smokes?
If you want to ask about another map, I can quickly fan over it. We have about like I said I would go over a little bit, so we have about like 10 to 15 minutes left. And I think Casey said he wanted to talk at the end of this, so we have a little bit of time left. I can go over another map if there's a map you want to see really quick.
Yeah, just Pearl.
Pearl?
A site.
A site? Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Vans, can you tag me in the thing that you sent? So I can answer your question for you. I'm sorry I missed that. My boss is not doing a good job of tagging me in things.
No, I'm sleeping
Toxic.
right now, bro.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, so they have the bomb down A.
Left side. Yeah.
Okay, left side. Yeah. Let me get.
In between security and the, like, what's it called? That building. Yeah, that. And then on the other side of that building.
Right here.
How bad or good are these? Yes.
Okay, so are you attacking or defending?
Attacking.
Okay, so if you're attacking, these are probably better for the defenders. And the reason why is because this gives them security to go into your smokes and make a play out of it. So if you're just think about like if they had a KO, right? They have a KO and Astra, they have maybe a Neon on this side, right? And you throw these smokes and you run up here. Hello? Say you run up here as Omen, whatever. I know those are not Omen smokes. Whatever. Say you run up here as Sage, right? So you're running up
Mhm.
to plant the bomb, and these are the smokes you have. For starters, this area, wide open, right? So they can easily be sitting in this area, and you would have no idea, right? So that's one thing. And then the other thing is, if you're running up here to plant the bomb, say you tap it, they could easily just right-click a KO flash through the smoke, and boom, boom, boom. All of your teammates that are with you on site are blind, and you're all dead. That makes sense?
Gotcha.
Actually, these are very good smokes for a defender to do. This is actually, again, because I do play smokes for my team, this is actually what I usually do, is I'll smoke main, and then I'll smoke on top of this box. And what that does is if somebody tries to go and plant the bomb right here, it allows you to walk into the smoke and quickly shoot them and kill the planter and then walk back before like anyone's able to kill you. It's actually a very, very powerful side smoke that a lot of people don't utilize. It gets utilized at high level, but it is often overlooked. But I think it's like one of the best smokes on a site that you can do as a defender. But yeah, in terms of like an attacker, I would say the best smokes to do are probably just here and here. Um, Unfortunately, unless you're playing like a brimstone or like a harbor and you have like the wall to cover all three,
Right.
you're not able to cover everything. So it kind of just comes down to like your team has to just take fights on these players back here like together, which is difficult again because it's just hard to it's hard to coordinate things in ranked. Um, but you know you just have to do your best. You could even, I mean, if you are playing Asher, you could use like a stun right here. I would tend to save your pull for post plant, but you could use a pull as well over in
Right.
this area if you wanted to. But I think like for most part, I would use stun either here or here. Um, but yeah, you just have to let them know like, hey, we call this secret. Like this whole area is called secret, and this is called dugout. So just be like, hey, secret's not going to be smoked. So you guys need to look to fight secret, and that'll let them know that when they're coming out of the smoke A main, because you're assuming your enemies are going to smoke off A main, that their priority is going to be looking right here to make sure there's nobody, like no immediate threat right here. And then if there is, obviously they take the fight, and then after that they play for the flood out of like this smoke or like the flood out of this smoke. Which normally you won't see a flood out of this smoke unless they get like a kill. This is the smoke that you'll see like the initial flood come out of.
Oh, makes sense. Thank you. That was the only question I had.
Yeah, of course. Yo, did you figure out this question?
How do I there?
When did you figure out this question?
What's up? I didn't look at any questions, bro.
He said he.
Red.
What's up?
So I have a question for a post plant on A.
Which
Okay,
map?
so on Pearl. So
Okay.
in the corner, like like against the dugout wall, if you're planted against the dugout wall, right? And let's say like you barely have enough time
like here?
to defuse. What is your opinion on just like not sticking and just kissing the wall? That way you get more money in the future.
Bro. like just dying to the spike, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, man. If you want to lick the wall, go for it.
No, kissing. You got to put your hand on it too.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to do that, then yeah, go for it. Thank you. Okay. We have a real question here. All right, King, I'm gonna invite you up, but let me read this question right here. Reasons that people get hard stuck in their ranks and how to get out of that mentality and actually rank up, improving game sense. When you VOD review, what should you be looking for? What if you think you did everything correct, but you again, sometimes your team is just like I said, it's 40-40. You're either gonna win the game, lose the game, and then 20% of the time you have a chance to make the change to win the game. So if it's one of those 40% of the times where your team is just not there, don't worry about it. But I think the biggest thing for VOD reviewing is you have to be open, honest, and critical of yourself. Don't focus on your teammates. Focus on you and you only. And look at every single gunfight you took, and if you died, think about the possibilities of like if I had asked my teammate to come take this fight for like with me, or if I asked for a piece of utility before I took this fight, or like was this a good fight? That's kind of the mentality that you have to go into when VOD reviewing. It's really hard to be self-critical, right? Because a lot of times it's easier to just put the blame on other people and say that you did your best. But a lot of times, especially in ranked, there's mistakes that we make without even really thinking about it in the moment. Which is why I think self VOD reviewing is one of the most important things that you can do as a player. So yeah. Maddie, I would just flash out for your team. Honestly, just flash. Who's up here? Yo, Pugger, you have a question?
Okay. Go back to Haven.
Yes.
I had a question about
Attack or defense?
defense.
Okay.
Basically, if I'm playing Neon in Heaven, could I use a stun to try and get out? Like use a stun and wall to try and get
Yeah,
out?
yeah, of
and
course.
use-
Yes. Yeah, Neon has good
Yeah.
utility. Neon has very good utility to be the person up here. Again, you can stun default. You can even
Because I just want to see how that would work.
I mean it really just depends on like your
Like,
team.
where would you stun?
I would say the best wall is this, right? Because this is like the most like there's not going to be a lot of people that are able to see you when you jump down into this wall besides the hell person, right? And then stun, I would say probably here, like off this box. It's going to double stun like the same area, but this is just going to help your teammates be able to kill the default guy. And if you're able to jump out instantly and slide, then you can also kill this person before the hell person can see you. Or you could jump out and throw your stun instantly towards hell. That's also a possibility. It just depends on how your movement is with Neon. Because some people are very, very quick with Neon and can go in and out of their wall super fast while their stun is stunning the person, and then you just slide on them and it's a free kill. But yeah, Neon is a very strong agent that you can use. You can also, this is also another good one that a lot of people don't know about. If you go on top of this box right here, you can actually throw your wall over top of sight. If you look over top of this wall, you can throw it over top and cut the sight in half like this. This is also a very strong one. Because then you can throw your stun here and instantly slide out on this person hell. That's also a very good retake wall.
Yeah.
Guys,
Thank you. That's all I wanted to
yeah,
ask.
of course. Of course, of course. Let's see. Damien, what's up? Guys, I didn't draw
Yo, I have a question about Pearl on offense.
Pearl attack. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the smoke station before, where would I have to smoke first as an Omen? Because Omen can only use one smoke at a time. So where would you advise like I smoke first?
I would say the most important one is probably this one.
Okay.
Because this angle, right? You have to think about this angle. Look how tiny this is right here. So their capability to see your team is really, really small because they get cut off by this box right here. So they can really only see your team from like, I would say like right here in this little box is like the only area they can see your team. Whereas if your team gets out right here and you've smoked here early, these people have full sight line of just everything going on in the middle of sight. So this would definitely be this would definitely be the first smoke that you would throw.
Okay, but thank you.
Bro, I'm not inviting Jay back on the stage. Yeah, of course. All right, Caress, go.
Okay, so I just hit gold today, and what's like I should improve on so I can get out of gold?
First of all, congrats. Way to go. Ranking up is always great. Love to hear that. I would say just keep consistency, keep playing the game. Gold is one of those ranks where, you know, you start to notice like people become a lot, I wouldn't want to say a lot better, but I would say gold and plat is where you can tell the difference between people who have good aim versus people who don't have good aim. So just really play a lot of death matches and really focus on your crosshair placement, making sure you're keeping that up at head level. I would say that's probably the best thing that you can do when you've reached gold. Lots of death matches. Death matching is one of my favorite things to do. I play typically like anywhere between 8 to 15 death matches a day. sometimes even more. And it just helps. I mean, it just helps you with a lot of angles and helps you with your crosshair, always being prepared to fight people. So that's what I would focus on right now if I were you.
All right, that's all I wanted to ask.
All right. Got a couple more questions that we can answer before Casey takes over.
If there were 100 pickles on the wall.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Quentin.
What? I mean,
don't-
thank
You have another question?
I just want to be up here.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Oh, well,
Oh.
got kicked. That was Jay's ult, bruh. Where do I find teammates with a mic? McDonald's drive-through. They all have mics. When you know you're going to lose, how would you minimize RR loss? There's not really anything you can do to quote unquote minimize RR loss other than just win as many rounds as possible. So when you know you're gonna lose, just keep your mindset the same as if you were going to win. Just play every round to win. Don't give up on the game because at the end of the day, you know, a 13-9 will give you a lot less RR loss than 13-3. So just don't give up on the game. If you have players going up art, do you throw smoke for them? Okay, so if you have players going up art, if they have this space already taken, like if this space is already theirs, then you don't need to worry about throwing a smoke here. Otherwise, I would throw a smoke here. But if you already have that space, then yes, just throw these smokes and have them make sure that one of them is holding back. But if they're going up art, like they're right here, then I would throw a smoke here and a smoke here. This would be like an A split if you wanted to do like an A split type beat. Casey, what if you aren't able to play for long periods of time? How would you keep consistency up? It's hard. Obviously, you know, ranking up takes time and dedication. But I don't think you can definitely still rank up even if you're not able to play for, you know, tons of hours at a time. I would say just if you can do something daily, even if it's just a little bit, that's better than nothing at the end of the day. Like solo queue or queue with slow pokes using Valorant LFG, bruh. Gangster is a good option. Valorant LFG is a great option if you're looking for people to queue with that have microphones. Usually those people tend to want to win the game a little bit more. Last question that I'm probably gonna take because Casey's up here is from Nano. I noticed before you said that if you had a brim or a harbor, you could smoke off all 3 angles, but would it be good at all to smoke off 2 angles and save 1 smoke for later if you were playing brim? Yeah, of course. If you're playing brim and you have all 3 smokes, yeah, it's always, you don't have to burn them all. Although brim is not heavily played on this map, you don't have to burn all 3 smokes just to get all these areas covered. It's always good, I think, to have an extra smoke in the back pocket so that when particularly this smoke goes down, you can re-smoke this. Or if you guys are playing main, then you can smoke like this. This would be like a good smoke to do if they're retaking from back sight because it just makes it harder for them to come out. But yeah, keeping one in the back pocket is not a bad idea. Yeah, of course. That's pretty much going to be it for my first session. I believe Casey's going to take the floor from here on out and explain some stuff to you guys. I appreciate you guys for stopping by and hanging out. Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to talking to you guys more in the future. So I'm gonna let Casey take over now. Wait, are we still sponsored?
How'd you guys enjoy the session?
Wait, are we still sponsored by Neuroptima?
You go
or
ahead.
no?
Yep.
Oh,
And comp ready.
these things in the background are Neuroptima tubs, which Top Frag is partnered with.
Yeah.
So go to neuroptima.com and you guys can purchase some flow state from there. W sponsor.
Very good. I have some as well.
I love flow state. It's so good.
Top Frag.
And
Oh
top
no, you
frag.
had it right the first time.
I did see those in the background. I thought that might be interrupted.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you do, we have a code or no?
I don't know if we have a public code.
Yeah.
We have
Okay.
a code in
Well,
our programs.
I have a code.
Yeah, you can say yours, bro.
That's a good
I
segue.
have a code, so if you guys want to use code Redefy, you can get 10% off any purchases, and it would greatly help me out as well. So if you guys want to order some,
And yeah, go follow his X and his Twitch as well, if you guys want.
yes,
Yep.
at Redefy.
No, this is your first session, right? This is pretty fun.
Yes, it was my very first session.
How'd you guys enjoy it? I think you could post a link to your Twitch too if you wanted to in the chat. I don't know if you did, but
Yeah, sure.
feel free to do that.
I'll drop myself a little self promo.
Out of 10 guys,
Thought it was amazing.
1 out of
10
10.
is good, 1 is bad.
Yeah, 1 out of 10. That's an easier way to judge it.
7.
Very good, very nice. But more mid quizzes next time, Twin. What does that mean? like that, like mediocre quizzes, or
Should you
were the
drink it as
quizzes
a
mid?
how old are you? As a child? I mean, caffeine should always be taken with moderation, depending on your age.
That's a
Alright, cool.
question for Neuroptima. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Casey.
They'd help out with it. I was just gonna say, if you guys wanted to get more of this, we're currently running the Invitational right now, which is just a program designed basically to get all of you guys to Immortal. So we've already had a lot of success. This is our 3rd week running it, and a lot of people have been messaging us this week saying that they've hit their like all-time peak, which is super cool. I'm sure Quentin has gotten a few of those DMs. I've gotten a few as well. So really happy to be running this. Basically, what that is it's just like these free sessions on steroids. Like we have so many of them. People are split up into 3 different divisions, so you can get more personalized like coaching for the rank that you're in. So you said that you're gold 1. So the gold 1 players are in like the invitational 1, and they'll be getting like coaching specifically meant to get you to platinum, where then you'll be in invitational 2, and you'll get coaching specifically for platinum, and then eventually you'll get up into diamond, and you'll get coaching for that to get all the way to immortal. So it's a continuous program. You sign up and you'll just be getting coaching week after week here from a bunch of different coaches. Redefy is one of them. We also have Comfy. If you guys have seen any of his free sessions, we have Screwface. We also have, I think, Leaders doing some sessions, and then just a bunch of people who are just excellent coaches. Sexy Christian, he's been doing a bunch of free ones as well. You guys have seen him. We do a bunch of different coaching too. There's performance coaching. There's Valorant coaching like you just saw. There's aim coaching from some of the best aimers in the game too. So a lot of really good stuff in there. So I'm going to post a link for that, guys, if you want to hear. If you have any questions, you can ask me right now, or you can DM me. I'm totally down to just answer any questions on that. But other than that, do you have anything to add, Quinn?
No, it sounds great, bro. Good summary. I think we're gonna be dropping some promotional stuff too, so you guys can get some extra stuff if you sign up this week as well. So we'll probably drop that tomorrow, or the day after. So be on the lookout for that too.
Absolutely. When's the next aim coaching session? I don't know off the top of my head, but all of the free sessions should be in announcements, I think. Or do we have where are those listed right now?
Sorry, the free sessions.
Free sessions in the Discord. Is there
There
like
you go.
a post for those yet?
Yeah.
Or all
Yeah.
schedule? There we go.
You don't see topic? I can change that. No, what do you mean? It says aim coaching. Aim coaching.
Yeah,
Valorant
it says aim
coaching.
coaching. If it's from reception cells or Shaw, it's also aim coaching generally.
I think Wapam has one.
They do a little bit of Valorant stuff in there too. Wapam, yeah.
Cool, guys.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. Other than that, if you guys do have any questions or anything pops up, feel free to DM me and stuff, and we can handle it. But I think I'm gonna hop out. I think Redefy said that he had to go too.
Yeah. Only last thing for me, if you guys want to book the player analysis call, get that done as well. Let me send this in the chat. Check that out as well.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing Comfy was doing?
Yeah.
Rip.
I'm doing them now.
Unlucky.
We're not pulling anyone else on stage right now, guys. We appreciate it. We could be here all day though if we're doing this.
Yeah, I'm a yapper. I could sit here and talk to you guys all day, but fortunately, I gotta get to bed soon.
Yeah, we're 16 minutes over, so we're probably gonna end it here. But I appreciate you guys.
Yes. Thank you guys for showing up.
Thanks, guys.
I'll see you guys in the next call. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Have a good night.